Hello and welcome to this video. It's Claire and today I'm going to share my advice on how to successfully live on the road long term. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, a little background about me is I lived in a Freightliner Sprinter van for 18 months with my husband and dog. In that 18-month long span, we visited every state in the US, we drove through Canada, we went to Thailand for a month, and we didn't get divorced. So in my book, I would say we were successful. Now that I've completed my full-time travel experience, I feel like I can look back and adequately share the systems you absolutely must have in place to have a successful experience. Let's just jump in. If you're interested in full-time travel, the first thing I would recommend is installing a big enough water tank. In my book, big enough is at least 30 gallons, but probably closer to 40 gallons. Obviously everybody's different, but we had a 20-gallon tank and we were filling it every other day, if not every day. This was really annoying because finding a water source is usually a really time-consuming task. Not having enough water when you need it is the absolute worst. We had to conserve water so much that overall it was really just an added stressor. It's been over 24 hours without water in our water tank.
Oh, I don't see anything on the building. You'd think you'd see something.
Can we use it? Thank goodness. I think they're gonna let us hook up here. And we definitely regretted not putting in a bigger water tank when we did our van build. We have water. The second thing I would consider an absolute must to be successful at full-time travel is ensuring you have an adequate way to make food. So before building or buying a rig, you need to establish what appliances are musts for you. So for me, that was a fridge, a sink, a stovetop, and an oven. We definitely could have gotten by without the oven, but I knew for me to be successful, this was necessary. Having the oven provided the opportunity for us to broaden our recipe book, and we actually did use it all the time. I can't imagine our experience without the oven. That would have been rough. So it's important you know what is realistic for you, that all the necessary appliances are in place and in working order. The next thing on my list is a reliable toilet setup. I would say this spectrum ranges from a plain old 5-gallon bucket to a full-blown legit $2,000 toilet. I know of people who would, no exaggeration, squat over the 5-gallon bucket and then take it outside and rinse it out every single time they went to the bathroom. And I know of other people who spent thousands on a composting toilet that basically cleans itself. Personally, we were kind of in the middle of this spectrum. So we had a 5-gallon bucket and Andy 3D printed a funnel that attached to the inside of the bucket, and then a tube went down and connected to an empty milk jug. So we would take the milk jug outside maybe once a day, maybe twice, and just glug 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 it out until it was empty, and then rinse it with soap and water, and it was good as new. And we also had a trash can liner inside the bowl of the bucket at all times, and anytime anything got into that, we would change it. And surprisingly, I must admit this setup wasn't bad. It sounds rough, but it really wasn't overall. When we first entered our van life adventure, our original plan was to just get by with the bucket setup for the first few months and then purchase a composting toilet. Looking back, I'm pretty sure Andy just told me this to get me to a point where I was comfortable with our toilet setup. And once I was used to it and realized we didn't need to spend the money on a composting toilet, it wasn't really as bad as I thought it was going to be. The final thing that's important in my book to be a successful full-time traveler is allowing for and scheduling in breaks. You're probably thinking taking breaks from the road defeats the purpose of traveling full-time, but trust me, you are going to need them. It's important to have somewhere that you can consider your home base. Some people have a house or apartment that they can go back to regularly. We had our parents. So every probably like 6 to 10 weeks, we would go to one of our parents' homes and stay there for a few days up to a couple of weeks, depending on how much time we needed. This proved to be vital to our success because there were just times when we just needed a break. Living on the road is hard. It's not always the amazing experience social media paints it to be, and you're gonna have some negative experiences and low moments. I can't imagine having the negative experiences that we did throughout our journey and not having the option to just go home. I know of other travelers who will schedule in nights in hotels or Airbnbs here and there. I know other people have like a house that they own and they just go back to it in between their travels to like regroup. So whatever you can make happen, I definitely suggest having a plan in place. Let me know what your #1 suggestion is to be successful at full-time travel in the comments of this video. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell notification. Thanks for watching. See you next time.